Hello.
I love hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Ashlee.
This is bringing me back to my childhood. I'm so excited.
Oh, Snakes and Ladders.
Yeah.
What?
I was always like, when I would go home, not when I would go home, yeah. When I was at home as a kid and I had like nothing to do and I was bored, I was always like bugging my parents or my siblings. I was like, guys, let's play Snakes and Ladders. And they're like, chill.
It's concerning. Okay.
It's so good though. I love this game. Okay.
Hi,
I'm
Katia.
going to ask you to check your phone.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
Again.
Oh.
We have a message.
What if I was not connected to the internet?
I was
Well-
playing.
We're screwed.
Telegram. Do you want to read it? Or do you want? What if I read like one line and you read one line,
Okay, sure. Wait, let me just connect to the internet.
or like one sentence?
Okay.
Didn't you go to the school? All right.
Who goes first? Who goes first?
Dear Ashlee and David, welcome to episode 7 of Student Life 101.
This time, we'll be diving into the ups and downs of preparing for adult life.
I'm scared. Today, you'll be facing off in a game of Snakes and Ladders, a perfect metaphor for the challenges and opportunities that come with navigating the real world.
That's so true.
Yeah, this feels like my life, honestly.
Yeah.
So
I am a snake. Where were we? Okay, every ladder you climb represents an opportunity or success, while every snake sends you tumbling back with a life lesson learned.
throughout the game, Katia will ask you questions on topics like internships, co-ops, and exchange programs, key steps in getting ready for life after university.
David, since you won, I won.
Oh, I know. I don't remember you winning.
Ashlee, it's you who won. Sorry, that's a typo.
Ashlee, since you won last episode's game, you get to roll the dice first.
Okay, let's see who can reach the top and conquer the obstacles of adulting.
Adulting.
Good luck, your dearest producers.
Yay.
Exciting.
So let me
Okay.
remove my shoes. I'm getting cozy, okay?
You know what? I agree. I don't disagree.
Okay.
I've failed miserably. It's fine.
I wonder who's winning this episode.
I have experience, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Ashlee, you go first. And actually, I'm just going to ask you questions kind of randomly. But for the most part, I want you guys to take the lead with the topics. But I can start you off for sure.
All right.
Go for
But
it.
please choose like which color you want, which
Hmm.
little figure you
What
want.
was the color that you used when you were a
Blue.
child?
I was
Blue?
always blue.
Okay, I'm taking blue. Okay.
Fine. I'll be green.
Green. We start at 1, right?
I think we start before 1.
Oh. Okay.
Amazing. We feel prepared.
I'm so excited. I love this game, actually.
So I get to roll first? Okay.
I think so.
I got 9, which is a really good start. Well,
So
kind of.
close, though.
I
9.
mean, I could have just put it on the 9, but that was more fun. Felt like walking on the board.
Okay, well, I mean, just to start us off, I know, Ashlee, you've already talked about your travel abroad experience a little bit, but can you just mention, like, what kind of benefits or what kind of things you learned from that experience and how that'll be good for your future? I don't know.
Yeah. With travel abroad, I kind of
Mhm.
mentioned that I was out of the country for about a month.
A month.
Yeah, I was in Greece for a month. And
Wait, during the school year? or like
No, it was during
summer?
the summer. Like
Okay.
over the summer, I did get credits for this as a course. And I know I mentioned before kind of the benefit of travel abroad being a cheaper alternative way to travel while you're a student, or it's more affordable to go for a longer period of time. But that's not the only benefits that you really get from it. With travel abroad, I found that it really enriched my just like life as a person, because I became more open-minded to how different cultures live differently. With traveling itself, like when you go out of country, you always experience cultural shock,
Yeah.
right? So when I went there, something that like really shocked me while I was there was that for example, the climate in Greece is really, really hot. I'm sorry, I'm going off topic so hard, but
Really?
the climate in Greece
Okay.
is so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And between the hours of 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., everyone takes a break. All the shops shut down, at least like in the small little village that I was in.
It's like a siesta.
Yeah, it is exactly. We called it
Yeah.
an afternoon siesta. So all the shops shut down. We stopped doing field work. We all took a break for 2 hours because those were the hottest hours of the day. Like it was unbearable to be in that heat because it's super humid there too. And so experiencing that where everyone was just like perfectly fine with taking a 2-hour break in the afternoon, going home, doing whatever you need to do, take a nap. Just like it's like a completely different way of living than it is here. Like obviously, if I tried to do that here, my employer would be like, "Hey, you're
Stop sleeping on
unemployed."
a job. Yeah.
No, exactly. So just like kind of learning small things like that. Or like, for example, this isn't like a huge difference, but over there, at least in the small town I was in, or the small village, it was called Narthaki. It was in the middle of Thessaly. So it was a bunch of, it was like plains land almost, but very hilly. Like I could
city
see,
ocean?
I could actually,
like
I
a
could see
sea.
Mount Olympus from where I
Oh,
was, which
that's
is
so
really cool.
It's just a mountain though, right?
It is,
Okay.
but it's really cool. I don't know. It's just the fact that we could see it and talk about the myths
Okay.
associated with it. I don't know. I'm nerding out here, but basically, during my time there, I noticed that everyone went to church. Like literally every single person went to church on Sundays, and nobody worked on Sundays. Nobody did everything. Everything was closed on Sundays. So we had to like fend for ourselves for food on Sundays. But like maybe that's not the same as it is in the big city, but realizing that like everyone there is like so culturally unified is so different from Canada, where if I look at someone, I'm not going to be able to like assume that they probably practice a religion or anything like that, right?
I guess there's more of a dominant culture in
Yeah.
Greece, right?
Yeah, so it's a very different experience from living in Canada, but that also opened my eyes to, hey, who am I to like judge something that other people do? Even like that, obviously I wouldn't judge anything like that, but just to kind of get the experience of being like, oh, this is so different from what I'm used to. I'm kind of the outsider here. It gave me the perspective to be able to reflect when others might come into Canada and they have a completely different perspective or completely different outlook, and they come into my life and I'm like, oh, why are you guys laughing so much? And so, anyways, they have a completely different outlook on life, right? And so I'm able to respect that more. And I think that traveling abroad really helped me build that, not even, I don't want to call it a tolerance, but it built that
New perspective,
open-mindedness.
right?
Yeah. I
How
think
much
like
was that?
to travel abroad is $5,000, but for a whole month.
And for a new perspective, yeah. I think those are worth it.
Yeah. Go ahead, David.
Okay, I'll roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so while I roll, I know that someone else has a travel abroad experience.
I do too.
Oh my
Katia.
god, that is true.
Yeah.
I do have a travel abroad experience that I'll tell you about after you
Okay.
roll.
But I was going to say, for you, when you're living over across seas, was it like you were able to get to different countries very regularly or easily just because you're so close by? Like I know in Canada,
Yeah.
we're so far from everything, so it's really hard to travel.
So definitely before moving here, I was able to like take a flight internationally and go to other countries way easier than getting out of Edmonton. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's just so neat. It's so different from here.
2, 3, 4. Nothing.
Oh.
Sad.
But yeah, my travel abroad experience was definitely different from Ashlee's. because I was there for an entire semester
Mm-hmm.
of the school year. I spent the semester in Barcelona, Spain. Ooh, fancy. Ooh. um, but the fun part was like
Not
the
the travel.
credits. Not the travel.
Not the learning.
Not the learn. Well, no, I learned so much, but
What
at
did
the
you
same
learn though?
I can't tell you.
Exactly.
But see, the thing is, for once in my life, the grades didn't matter. Like
Ah.
it the letter grade didn't transfer, so it was either you pass or you fail, but either way it's a matter of if you get transfer credits or not. Like it doesn't affect your GPA in any way. So
cool.
I took that opportunity to actually live, for once, instead of focusing entirely on school.
She really
That's
lived,
awesome.
loved, and laughed.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's more important than focusing on, getting that grade
Yeah.
for a class.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I feel like I lived a very sort of closed off life, I don't know, I didn't really go out into the real world or experience adult life in any way.
Mm-hmm.
But then moving to Spain for 6 months, I lived alone for once, learned how to cook, kind of became more independent, and definitely like left my comfort zone. That's for sure.
And now you're making amazing sourdough bread.
Hell yeah.
Can we show the bread, please?
We have to like ship it in. Does
I'm actually hungry.
do you want to go grab it?
I'm going to get it. I'll get
Okay.
it. Sure.
Okay.
Your turn.
Ashlee, you can.
Okay. I don't know what's with me and these nines, but we're back at 9. No.
Oh, is it a snake? Oh no.
Uh-huh.
I moved backwards. Bread.
Bread. So
It's-
just to show everyone,
Hell yeah.
that's a bread.
It came half eaten.
Okay. Okay.
Amazing.
This is so
Literally
good.
the best sourdough ever.
Every time you get on a red square, you have to pull out one of those papers and do what it says, just for one round.
Okay. All right, David.
Thank you.
The dice for you.
Isn't it called die? Wait, die is for one, right?
No, die is for more than one.
Yeah, you're right. I'm incorrect. It's just
Right?
it's a dice. Dice? Die. No, die is one.
Die dice? Die is one. You're
Die is one.
correct.
Dice is one. No, I fully believe that. I was
Dice is one. Is one.
No, dice is several. I promise.
Wait. Okay.
Die is one.
According to Google, dice is both the singular and the plural.
Die. Okay. 9.
At least your 9 might be beneficial. It's done nothing.
I got 13. Which
Oh, and it's a
means
red square.
I pull something out, right?
Yeah, you pull one of
Okay.
those. Just the number.
Do I say now?
Just the number. Just
Oh,
the number.
6.
Okay, sounds good. You guys can keep the conversation going. Do you have any other thoughts for travel abroad?
Yes.
And what are they?
A lot, actually.
Can you tell us your opinions on traveling abroad, not for university or work, but just like
In general.
in general?
I think it's really useless. And there's not really any benefit for going abroad, especially since you can learn everything you need to know, staying home and not having to go anywhere. Yeah.
What
I
do
think
you
he's
think,
lying.
Ashlee?
I think there's no
I
way.
am.
I'm very confused.
I'm not, though.
Anyways, I disagree entirely. I think when you're, especially like just as a young person, you have all the energy right now to go out and see the world, get to try new things and try different experiences. And having that opportunity to do that, and even just going and doing it, is going to enrich your life fully. Like, you're going to be happier overall. You're getting to try new things. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain why that's good, but it's just good, you know?
You guys should do it if you ever have the opportunity.
No.
So I know what he's doing. Can I guess?
You can guess.
He has to disagree with everything that I say, or disagree with the question.
Not exactly. No. Close.
No.
Close. I guess you lose a point. But
Ooh.
the actual prompt was for the next round, you have to respond to each question with the opposite of what you think.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Not confusing at all.
That's why when I asked you, when she asked if you have more to say about travel abroad, you're like, yes.
Ashlee, you're
5.
Other than 9.
A red tile. Read it.
Actually 5.
great.
I'm
Okay, let's
scared.
talk about internships a little bit. I wanted to know if either of you have any like work experience that you have with university or through university.
Do you want to start, Ashlee?
Actually, I do. Actually, I currently work for the Institute of Prairie and Indigenous Archaeology as an archaeologist. Actually,
I believe her. That's true.
Actually, a lot of the research that I do right now is I do a lot of lab work, you know?
No thoughts, David?
I feel like that's something Ashlee would do. But in regards to your question about internships, I did do an internship before, like throughout my high school career, and not during university, because I realized that you can actually get paid for your work, so that's called a job. But I did know that doing
Actually, that's called a job.
it is, but doing internships and doing volunteer work, that's the second time that happened.
Actually,
But
I'm
doing
scared.
volunteer work is beneficial, I think, for you getting that experience without having to, I don't want to say try too hard, but getting that experience without having to get into the real world that quick.
Actually, I've
yeah.
never had like an internship itself, just because like what I do right now is not an internship.
Because you're an archaeologist?
Actually, it's more like I'm a junior archaeologist, but it's not considered an internship. It's an RA-ship, which I'm sure we'll talk about a bit later. But internship would be like going out and actually looking into looking out in the world for a job that's not necessarily research assistant.
So maybe I didn't do an internship then. I don't know.
I think internships are paid. I don't know why you said they're unpaid.
Oh, I did an unpaid internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there are multiple types.
Mainly volunteer work. Wait, volunteer work is free, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then volunteering.
Do you want to roll?
Should I guess what Ashlee says?
Yeah.
It's so confusing though.
You can guess, or you lose a point if you get it wrong.
She was talking about her future career.
You're telling me that's the prompt?
Yes.
You are wrong. The actual prompt was, for the next round, you can start your sentences only with actually.
Okay, but that's how Ashlee talks.
No.
But yeah, what do you guys think about co-op through university or like doing work experience through university?
I did try applying for a co-op, but
Mm.
then I realized that I did not have enough. Like I had more credits than I was
Mm.
supposed to.
Yeah, because there's like a limit. So basically, when you're in a co-op degree, or like not necessarily a co-op degree, but when you're in a co-op program, what happens is that you're given a, how do I want to say this? You're given a number of credits that you have to still be able to complete after you're done your work experience, right?
Like on top of your
On top of your co-op.
Yeah.
So basically it's like, oh, you have to have at least 50 more credits that you have to do, for example. So like a full term. For me, it was a full term because I applied for arts work experience, which is the arts program co-op. So I'm currently kind of part of it. And I have applied for a couple jobs, but I never actually ended up hearing back, probably because I sent the application on the last day they were due, which I don't recommend doing because they probably already hired someone.
True. Okay. Plus, it does extend your degree, though.
It
right?
does. So there's like benefits. There's pros and cons, drawbacks, right? With
10.
10. Oh. No, but with a co-op degree, there's drawbacks because it does extend your degree potentially up to another like 12 to 16 months. For the experience that I'm in, basically what happens is that you can apply for a co-op placement, which means you're going to be working during a semester of school. And sometimes it can just be over the summer if it's like a 4-month placement, but a lot of the time they'll be 8 months or 12 months. So then you're working for up to a year and you're basically in that placement. The difference though with an internship and a co-op is that you kind of have to write a mid-term evaluation report and an end of term evaluation report to kind of talk about what you've been learning, the types of things you've been doing, basically how it's kind of enriched your life and how you think you're doing. And then your supervisor will also report back to the school to say, oh, this is like how they've been doing basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
And
think,
that's a fact.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was my sentence.
That's a fact.
That was a fact. Yeah.
And so, and so basically, I'm sorry. I need to think a little more
Go
before I
on.
guess. But anyways,
That's a fact.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's a fact.
But with a co-op experience, another big part of it is that
You get paid, and that's a fact, right?
oh my gosh. Yeah, you get paid. So you do get paid, which is really nice. But you also do have to pay for tuition while you're doing that co-op because you're in a class. They enroll you in a class so you keep your full-time student status. So you end up paying tuition for one class. I think for one of my friends, it was like just over $1,000 for one semester because you have to pay all the tuition fees and all that other stuff.
That's one thing I guess I didn't understand is that you're basically paying for a job, which you still have to find yourself. You do just get support to find that,
Yeah.
but it's essentially, like finding a job by yourself, right?
I think like
That's a
the
fact.
main difference though, and this goes back to those reports that I was talking about. There's a midterm and there's an end of term report, right? And in those, you have to talk about like what you're learning and what you're doing. And I think that that's a really good experience to learn how to sell yourself. I don't mean that in a weird way, but like, you go into the job market, into the real world after you graduate, and you have to know how to be competitive in the job market, right? Like you have to know how to be able to talk about your skills and your qualifications. You have to have the confidence to do that. And being able to do those midterm reports and talk to someone about that is really going to help because you're going to get more used to, because it feels like bragging, to be honest. Like, I don't know if you've ever felt that, like applying for
I've
a job.
definitely sold myself. Because that's what you got to do when you have to, find a job and make yourself look valuable. And that's just a fact.
It's just a fact,
That's a
guys. Can I guess what he's doing?
You can guess.
At the end of every sentence, he has to say that's just a fact.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm free. And that's a fact.
Nothing happened.
Nothing indeed. Okay.
I guess what else is important about being a co-op student?
Oh, you get it. You get that designation in your degree.
You do.
Yeah.
However, it depends like what you're in. So for arts students in the arts work experience program, you can get a co-op placement if yours is less than 12 months or you don't work several terms adding up to 12 months, you don't get a co-op degree. You just kind of get work experience behind you. So, I don't know.
7. Bombastic.
Well, I climbed a ladder, guys.
But you got the red one too, right?
opportunities.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Can you actually pull out a...
Oh,
Exactly.
do I have to guess what he's doing before I do it? I can guess.
Are you sure? Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
pretty splendid of you. Okay.
No, actually, I'm not going to guess, but will it continue? Okay.
Yeah, I guess preparing for the real world is pretty hard because you get this, subliminal stimuli, which is pretty hard to understand since it's really your first time going into the real world.
Preparing for the real world
It's hard,
is
right?
hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Fine, there gets a point.
Yeah.
What happened? What was he doing?
David, do you want to read the prompt?
Oh, I know. Sneak in these words: bombastic, splendid, subliminal stimuli. Without your peer figuring it out.
Okay.
Good job, David.
Ashlee, what's your number?
Okay. I have number 2.
Okay, great.
This is scary.
Um,
I need more bread.
I want to get bread too.
Oh.
Okay. That's perfect. I feel
Can you actually put it over the mic?
If you don't guess, you have to continue doing it.
Yeah, do you want to guess, David?
No, not really. I'm okay losing a point.
Okay.
Um,
Is it your turn then?
Yeah, it is.
beautiful.
how do you feel, Ashlee?
I feel like I'm in a tent, honestly. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you make like a fort and then your parents are like, clean it up. But you don't want to because it's fun.
The prompt is wear a bag over your head
A bag?
That's your official guess.
or cover yourself.
Ashlee, you win a point and you can take that
What?
off.
Yes.
The actual prompt was for the next round, you cannot see your peer.
Couldn't you just close your eyes?
I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm not going to look at him. And then I got covered. But, that works.
Ask Sasha. I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have a blindfold.
I was just going to look this way and like ignore him, basically. Honestly, but
Wait,
It's just for fun.
Did you go?
yeah, I went to 4, so I have to get another one.
Okay, so, and also about a co-op, I think it's really beneficial to kind of go through the co-op process because they give you help creating your professional profile. Like, for example, I was able to get free access to resume counseling or cover letter counseling. And basically you go in, you meet with one of the advisors. Oh my gosh, sorry. Anyways, you go in and you meet with one of the advisors. It's about an hour-long meeting, and they give you tons of resources for ways to write your resume and improve it. And they'll read your resume itself and be like, oh, here's where I think you could do better. Here's where I think you're struggling.
You use
Here's where you're doing great.
VMock resume builder?
No, I don't.
You should. It's actually really good. That's what they suggested that I use, and I've been using that for every resume that I make. Number 9.
Important.
Yeah. Plus, David thinks that there's free food in every event that they have. And these, resume building classes or these support.
Is that what you do? You just go to these classes and stuff to
I'm not
get free food.
confirming.
Yeah.
I'm not confirming that, but
You lost the point.
David's not confirming that. That's hard, okay?
Yeah.
I think
But
you could have guessed it.
Yeah.
Ashlee, do you want to guess?
Yeah, he was saying David when he should be saying I. Or basically every time he has a thought, he has to say David thinks. David.
That's also awkward.
Yeah. Third person. But I don't know.
I think that's like the same thing.
Oh yeah, let's play a game.
Same thing, just different words.
Is this not a game already?
Nope.
Hey, your turn.
My turn. Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
No, pause.
Oh.
I mean, you can roll.
Okay.
Are you... Ashlee's going backwards.
Oh, are you serious? Where did you start, Ashlee? Have you been doing that the entire time?
No, just now.
Okay, good.
I shouldn't have mentioned it. And that brings me to the
pee
fact
my
that some people
pants.
don't want to help themselves,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm like crying right now.
Self-sabotage.
Yes, self-sabotage.
Hey.
Flags.
So basically,
oh.
it's like countries' flags, and you have to guess which countries.
David, I'm done. You're gonna win.
hmm
This is not fair.
David was quicker.
Okay, but he's a faster writer, guys. I swear to God.
Just
My
make it
handwriting's pretty
smaller.
bad.
It's fair.
David was still quicker.
I wrote Canada because I have time to
No.
guess like one thing. Oh,
David, yeah.
guys, I didn't get it fast enough.
Maybe this will be my chance to actually win in this episode.
Yeah.
Brazil. Sad.
That evil laugh. Oh my god.
That's so specific.
Oh.
Oh.
I didn't know. Okay.
I'm just gonna start playing like.
Oh. Oh.
Neither got the point.
I guess I should travel abroad more.
No.
Oh.
That's a pretty fun.
Wait, what did you put?
Giant.
Oh. Ah. I've never seen this in my life.
This is a very random guess.
Nothing.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
a country.
Well, no way. These flags are so unique.
I'm getting this.
What's it on? Well,
Congrats, guys.
did I win?
I think you did.
Sure, I
Psych.
think so.
I
Okay.
felt very.
You feel like you need to travel abroad more, right?
You roll.
Mm-hmm.
Four. It's a good idea.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
The longer you guess, the longer you have.
Perfect. So, David, you said that you had a job during school. How did you find that job?
Do you want to guess?
So he has to mime everything. He's not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Idea of mine, not to be mine, but like
Yeah.
things out.
Oh, this is mime.
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah,
you have to do this thing.
You don't have to be in a box.
That's what I subconsciously felt being in
felt-
a job at university because I had to focus on that while studying.
But how did you get into the job that you got into?
So I think just like this game, it's all about luck. I would just send out resumes, apply left and right. And yeah, there are these two websites. I believe there's one for every student at the UFA called Campus Bridge. And then there's one specifically for business students called Career Connect. And that would show you more jobs related to business. But yeah, just using those websites.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I don't know, for mine.
Wait, did you move my...
Oh yeah, you did. Ashlee, what's going on?
Okay.
So I'm really
Shut up.
bad at this game.
Well, it's because I picked your
I
childhood
thought
color.
you had all the experience.
I did have the
I
experience.
play this every day when I get home from school.
Okay. I'm normally blue, and David did this on purpose. He asked me, he's like, what did you play as when you were a kid? I was like, blue. And he's like, I'm being blue this time. Very specific. He knew I was going to do this.
Sabotage.
He knew. Anyways.
But that doesn't excuse the fact with you going backwards.
Okay. It's unnecessary to bring that up. Okay, with my job, I was still going backwards.
No. Oh. Wait.
Ashlee, this feels like it's entirely wrong, like from the start.
just
But
like
just
Yeah,
like life,
nothing
that's
goes
right.
as planned. Clearly, even though
Yeah.
there's numbers.
For example, I was in the arts work experience program and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, maybe I'll get a job through this. And I applied a couple times. I really didn't put that much effort into it.
What was the job that you did?
Oh, I just applied for some government jobs
Oh.
and stuff like that. I didn't put much effort into
Mhm.
it. Obviously, didn't really get much out of it. But then I went to a field school. It was an archaeological field school. And I had a professor that was teaching it that I really liked. I liked what she was researching. I liked what she did. And I asked her, I was very adamant about asking her, like, are there opportunities to volunteer? Are there opportunities to just continue doing this work with you in the future? And she's like, oh, well, there might be, like, she kind of like brought it up. But anyways, I would always ask her questions and like show my interest. And the night that our paper was due for that class, because I had to write a 10-page report for it, I got an email from her and it was like, she was like, hey, do you want to work for me, basically, or do you want to work with me? And then after that way, I managed to get a job working with her. And now I've been there for like a year and a half.
I remember when you had that position. I think that was last summer, right?
Yeah, I started last summer.
Because you would come back from the fields basically
Yeah.
and show these pictures of rocks. And I was like,
David, you lost
yeah,
the
I couldn't say
point.
like. And I was so curious about what these rocks were. And you said they were like millions of years old.
Yeah. So we found like projectile points, basically, or even just like flakes and stuff like that. And it was really neat to kind of see this in the ground. Like, it's on the ground that we walk on today everywhere. I mean, we're in Alberta, it's Treaty 6 territory. Like, there's people who have lived here for time immemorial, basically. And just seeing those things in the ground, you're like, wow, this is like this. I don't know. It's just so cool because it's like someone held this 1,000 years ago, or someone that held this like 10,000 years ago. And sometimes like we are able to actually date it, but then when you can't, you're just like, who knows how old this is?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so cool.
And I think getting that experience allows you to, you know, do cool stuff like that. Because if you just did like regular classes, I don't think you'll have that opportunity. No.
I'm on a red one though, so that's fun. Let's see. I think it's 1 or 11. Just like watch and learn, guys. Watch and learn.
Okay.
I got 11 for my dice.
Perfect. Yeah, you're free.
Free.
So what do you think was the most valuable thing you got out of working during school?
Definitely the money, because it allows you to, you know, have more spending power than not working. But I think more important than that is the experience, because getting that first job is really hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because employers want you to have, you know, 5 years of experience for an entry level position, or what is it? 20 years of work experience as an 18-year-old. And at least having those experiences allows you to, you know, get a foot into a door easier compared to someone without.
Yeah,
So
that's
it
true.
puts you at an advantage.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Okay, I'm guessing that Ashlee has to do.
No, you might want to give it a second.
Oh.
I'm just telling you
You
because
were
you're not
a
going to guess
little
it.
late.
Can you read the
Student Life 101 with David.
Not there yet.
And Ashlee
Yeah.
with David and Ashlee. David and Ashlee. David and Ashlee. She has to do bunny ears or cat ears every time our names are mentioned.
No.
Oh. With David and Ashlee. Ashlee. David. And every time she has to say end, every time we say end,
You say it.
I say end.
So you got that wrong.
It's complicated.
I missed it one time, and that's why Sasha was like,
I think it's your turn. Yeah, because I got 11.
Yeah.
And I rolled.
And
I
then you
rolled, but I got white.
oh yeah, so that
I
was
mean,
my
I can
turn
go
again.
again
No,
if you
no,
want me to.
Actually, you can go.
Okay, before I read this, I just want to put another point because
Yeah.
reading this might impede my ability. With the job that I have currently too, I think it's really prepping me for my degree in law because I've been doing research about law. So she's very, like, my boss is very open to allowing you to try new things and do new things for work that are going to be helpful to you in the future. So when I said that I was interested in creating an internal policy about how we deal with like data management and things like that, she was very open and willing to be like, yeah, you're interested in this. Let's try this. Let's do this. And I'm going backwards again.
Oh my gosh. You went up the ladder.
Yeah, she went backwards.
Oh my god. You're an honors student,
I
Ashlee.
am really starting to think that you did not play this game when you were younger.
It's just, I was going this way and then I went up the ladder. And when I went up the ladder, it brought me to something that was going the other way.
No, there are numbers on the board.
Oh, that's not true. I lied.
It's okay.
Anyways,
Happens to the best of us.
regardless, I feel like I'm gaining skills that are going to be
Ken.
helpful in the future. And I think that's probably the most
No
rewarding
way.
thing to me. Oh, right. 12.
I just hope I don't get that anymore.
I hope you
Two
do.
more. Oh. Is her prompt to be mean? Yeah, I went to a resume building event. Yeah, you. Oh.
I'm
yeah, you
one
get another
over.
one as well.
Yeah, stack them up.
Yeah, I did go
guess.
to a resume like building course. I got free pizza. Was able to network with other people and get my resume reviewed by some professionals in the field. So that was helpful.
I don't think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Explain more, Ashlee.
I just don't think it was. It doesn't seem helpful.
The prompt is say the opposite. Disagree with what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
got it.
How am I going to get one with 2 dice, my guy?
What happened?
That's a you problem.
Do I have to get exactly 100?
No.
Yeah.
No, but that's a game.
Yeah, you have to get the exact
Yeah.
number.
So I go forward and then backwards.
Yeah.
Ashley was like, you can't get one.
Yeah, it says
And
by
2
an
dice.
exact toss of the dice.
Oh, exciting.
So you have to go back. Last one.
One.
Exciting.
What's the number?
Easy 4.
4. Okay, perfect. Some more thoughts on life. I don't know.
Life is hard. And there's a lot of support at university.
Actually, oh, go ahead.
We were talking about like professional experience, right? And we're always talking about like getting paid for that experience. And we're talking about like kind of unpaid internships. But what about all the other volunteer opportunities on campus? Did you ever get involved in those? And do you think they enriched your actual professional self?
I did join a bike workshop and gardening club. Didn't really enrich anything besides me being able to, network with people, do things I
Mhm.
like. It was more for my mental well-being.
Yeah. That's still, I think like that's still really important.
Yeah.
I recently joined the Arts Faculty Council. So we make decisions about like what courses are going to be offered in the arts faculty next year.
Really?
Yeah, and we vote on that. There's lots of people in the council, but it should be good. Our first meeting is next week. And I also recently applied to become a section editor for our arts student journal. Scary. And I actually got the job, so now it's not a job, it's a volunteer experience, but it's also something that's going to help me really with like, I don't know, having more experience in a leadership role. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to be leading a group of copy editors and yeah.
So how did you get that job?
A lot of it was my application and then I had an interview. The interview was really where I kind of like stood out because the application is just to say you're interested in it and you kind of say what part you're interested, what courses you've taken that might be relevant, and it didn't really have an option for you to put experience. So when I went, I was like, oh, well, I wrote my thesis last year, this, and this. And she's like, so you understand deadlines, you understand research, just the process of research. You know how to support people with that. You understand citations, because part of that, my job is going to be making sure there's no, not copyright, plagiarism,
Right.
things like that, right?
How do you balance this though with, being a student in your final year?
Don't.
Oh,
Actually, give me 2 seconds and I'll answer that. 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8.
Do you want to guess?
Pardon me?
Do you want to guess?
she doesn't suspect anything.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even remember he was doing something.
Not looking at you.
Oh.
Not doing eye contact. You just thought it was
okay,
normal.
that's why it's like I couldn't see you versus not looking at you. That's fair.
Come on, guys.
Yay. No.
Did you win?
No.
I won.
Wow.
David's making a comeback, guys. I swear.
Mhm.
out of 8 games.
Yeah, and
that's
I came back from losing. Or
To be fair, he
winning.
deserves to win because I kept going backwards. But.
Exactly.
All right. Well, bye, guys. We'll see you
for
next
next
time
episode.
where we talk about getting into the real world
Yes.
and actuality and graduating.
Scary stuff.
Very exciting things.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Okay.